Hello and welcome to today's design tutorial. Today I'm going to walk you through the steps to make a simple sticker, and this can be done with any sort of layered commercial use file. Either you can draw it and create it yourself, or you can buy them and then change the colors and things like that. So this is a camera that comes from my Magical Shapes kit. It's one of my CU products, meaning that it can be used for commercial use. So with that kit, you could purchase it, make it your own, which we're going to walk through the steps today, and then sell it in your own digital kit. And this piece will be included in this email, so you can download it and kind of, make it your own in any way that you want. So as you can see over here, we have the different layers. We have the camera layer on the bottom with the rim and the lens portion and the heart. So it's just a really simple little camera, and it could be used in lots of different ways. So one of the easiest way, the way that I usually do my stickers, I have a variety of ways because I like to give different looks, and there are lots of different styles that you can purchase that can give you a whole variety of looks as well. So it's just, my suggestion would be to start small and simple and build on what you have, and then as you go along and you see a style or you see something that you really like, you can add it to your collection and make it your own, or make these stickers your own. So for today's, we're going to change up the colors, and we're going to use the color palette that we've been working with, because I'm not exactly sure. Well, I think it's these colors right here. I had added some others to it, so it got a little confusing, but there we go. Okay, so we're going to take this bottom part, and for today we're going to double click on it, and this brings up our layer style box. And if we click color overlay, then that changes it to this default bright red color. So double click there, and it will show you this color here. Click on it and then pick. I'm going to pick the, let's do the brown that we have in our palette. Okay, now as you can see, it has the effect added. Because we might add future effects, or because, and I just do this to make it more permanent. Now, if you're not sure it's permanent, don't do this yet. Not that you can't undo anything, but it just will save you a step. But if you know for sure this is the color you want, you can add a layer and then highlight these two layers and merge layers. Now make sure you only merge those two layers and not any of these up here, because we don't want to do that yet. So now we have our brown layer. Now for our rim, we're going to double click, color overlay, pick the color, and let's do the gray. And same thing, we'll highlight the two, merge layers, and there we have those two layers done. And if you're working with a lot, my suggestion would be to even label these so that you don't lose track of what's done and all of that. So don't be afraid to just by double clicking, you can change it to whatever you want. So you could even do camera final, just so that you know that it's one that you've done. Again, right here it's easy to see, but sometimes you might be working on something that has a whole bunch of layers, and this is an easy way to keep track of things. Okay, so for the lens, same thing, and I'm going to go with our light color. And now for our heart, and I'm going to choose the pink. Okay, now that we've got this much and we've recolored our layers, now the next step would be the next step in our sticker would be the texture. So if depending on how much of a texture you want, or if you want any texture at all, and actually we're going to get to the texture in just 1 minute. First, because I like the way that these all look, I'm going to merge them all together. If you were wanting to add this next part that I'm going to show you to any of these inside layers, then I would wait, but I'm only going to add the sticker, the outside white sticker rim to the whole thing. So now that we have this here, I'm going to right click on this image, click select pixels, and I'm going to do modify, expand, and I usually think about 8 to 10 pixels is a good size for a sticker. So let's do 10 to see what that looks like. So if you want more of a sticker edge, then you can go up to 15. It just depends. And sometimes, so I'm going to deselect that. You can even look at the size of your thing. So this shape is almost 3,500 pixels wide, which is pretty close. This is a really big camera, basically. And you're not going to put this element this big in your kit, or because no one's going to put that on a layout. I do try to keep my shapes as big as I can, just because people that might use it for printable, for different projects, you can always go smaller, but you can't go bigger once an object is in Photoshop and it has become a rasterized image, that it becomes too pixelated. So that's why this is so large. So before I add the sticker, I do like to always look at the size and make it a little more reasonable. So it's probably going to be more like a 5-inch, 5 by 4-inch camera. So we're going to make it a little smaller and just zoom in a little more. Okay, now when we right click, select pixels, select modify, expand, and we do it by 10, there, that looks like a really reasonable sticker width onto a product. So now to get the white on there, we need to add a layer, and we need to move the layer behind our camera. And then we need to change this to a white, and again, I'm going to go with the little bit of off-white that we have for our kit, and we pour it in there. We use the little bucket and select, deselect. Okay, so now we have our bottom layer, that is our sticker piece, and then we have our image on top. Okay, and the reason I like to add the sticker here first is I like to add the texture to both. But that's completely up to you, and if you only want to add the texture to the top, then keep them separate before you add the texture. Not that you'll see it a lot on the white, but again, it's just up to each individual person. So I'm going to go ahead and merge visible, and now I'm going to open up one of my, let's see if I can quickly find our design series folder, and I'm going to go to our day 2 freebie with our texture that we had. Okay, so now we've got our texture. I'm going to do a Control or Command A, depending if you're on Mac or PC, and Command or Control C to copy it, and come back over here and Command or Control V. Now, something that I just realized as I did that, so I'm going to delete it, is this texture is really big, so we may want to downsize it. We know that our other is about roughly 5 by 4, so I'm just going to do this 6 inches, just so that the texture is not too watered out because it's so big in contrast, if that makes sense. I'm going to select all, copy, and paste, and now you can see a little more of that texture. So we're going to do create clipping mask, and that just clips it to our sticker. And then, just like we do on a paper or other things, change it to soft light, And there you go. You can merge visible, and you have your first sticker all done and ready to add to your kit. Okay, thanks for joining us, and we'll